Hi everyone, Danny here with Ground State Tarot, coming to you with the Lunar New Year Fire Horse main energy for 2026 for ISTP Virtuoso types using the 16 personalities test, which I will include a link to when I post this video. And as a reminder, the Fire Horse energy is about taking bold action, taking passionate momentum, being creatively driven, and doing so from a place of inspired action, and as opposed to being impulsive or erratic or chaotic or rebellious. That's the shadow side of the Fire Horse energy this year. So it's really using the action, bold, independent energy as propellant to get you to the other side of whatever the situation ends up being, right? And so as a reminder, card number 1 is your optimal energy. Card number 2 is your suboptimal energy. Card number 3 is your point of stagnation. Card number 4 is the way through. Card number 5 is the advice for assertive types. And card number 6 is the advice for the turbulent types. So without further ado, we begin this year anchored with the card for loss, allowing yourself to grieve, and wintertime, which I will get into at the end of the reading. So we begin with the 10 of Cups here, clarified by the 9 of Wands. You have an opportunity this year to get back on the path towards the things that you really want to bring into your life, the things that will help you feel like you made it, like you've accomplished your goals. There's a sense of peace. There's a sense of joy, contentment that you can share with your loved ones, your friends, your pets. You're taken care of. It's the happy family card. But you won't get there without acknowledging the scars and the wounds that it's taking and that it has taken to get this far. You need to acknowledge the losses. You need to acknowledge the wounds. You need to acknowledge the scars. You need to acknowledge the times that you've fallen so that you can be able to stay steady despite the fatigue and make it to the finish line. This is a 10 and this is a 9. So you're very, very close to getting to what you want. But the suboptimal energy this year is staying in relationships, in partnerships that are immature, that are surface level, that aren't really fulfilling you fully. They're nascent. It's a page. It's fresh, but it's also not grounded. And if you've been in a situation, a relationship, a partnership where that seems to be the dynamic, no matter how long you've been in it, then it's time for you to reevaluate. And it's time for you to take your losses where you need to take your losses, and take your wins where you take your wins, right? This point of stagnation, the 6 of Wands, clarified by the King of Wands, is telling me that this relationship, experience, job, partnership, whatever it is, there's also an element of public-facing importance, public-facing validation that someone's getting out of this. And it seems to be out of a sense of self-centeredness, maybe even a little bit of narcissism. It's a little bit of like showing. It's very showy. It's very boisterous. It's sort of puffing up your chest. It's performance. It's not real. It's not really grounded in a way that helps you feel as though this fulfillment is ever really going to come out of any of this situation. It's just kind of like this dead end energy where you're being nudged to, again, take your losses, and in doing so, you refresh the energy, because the way through is by reevaluating this whole situation and seeing where you can sever ties with the experience, with the person, with the thing, so that you can unlock this new, more real, grounded opportunity to reconnect to your sense of curiosity, your sense of creativity, but from a place of humility. This is an internal energy. It's not externalized. This is not validation. This is internally validating yourself by staying humble in a student's mindset, in a beginner's mindset, knowing that curiosity, that sense of adventure, that sense of being down for whatever, because you know that the real gain comes with long-term commitment and long-term gratification. Realizing that you still have it in you to really integrate your fire externally, internally, and refocus it towards this 10 of Cups goal of fulfillment, but real substantial fulfillment, not performance. We're sick of that. We're sick of the performance this year. And the advice for the assertive types with 6 of Pentacles and the 10 of Cups: be mindful of how much you give in your relationships, in your experiences, and realize that you only want to align with people, situations, goals that are fair and balanced, that are reciprocal, so that you can achieve this 10 of Cups that shows up again. So really driving home this idea that it's accessible to you, it's within your reach, right? Those hands, it's within your reach, but you need to acknowledge where you're putting in energy in situations, places, things that are not of substance. They're not really grounded. They're not going to give you the validation that you seek. It's only surface level. It's not deeply rooted in fairness as opposed to this energy. So if you lean into this more, you will be able to unlock this 10 of Cups. And the advice for the turbulent types: staying connected to your inner child, not from a place of immaturity, but from a place of believing in an open heart, in remaining open, rejecting cynicism, rejecting the cynicism that comes with believing that you have to perform to get the things that you really want. That's a very cynical view of the world. So you need to reconnect with this sense of staying open, staying connected, realizing that you have it in you to reconnect with your dreams, hopes, aspirations, with a sense of believing in magic, believing in alignment, aligning with your dreams, aligning with your goals, when you let go of this feeling of cynicism, of having to go along to get along, and really honoring your own organic, true, tried and tested dreams, aspirations, goals that will allow you to overlook any momentary losses to see what it is that you're trying to call in long term that is of substance and value. And with the 9 of Wands and the Justice card, this is really about acknowledging how much it has taken to get to this point, how much resilience it has taken for you to stay connected to the things that you want, despite the losses, despite the disappointments, despite the grief. Give yourself the time to properly grieve those disappointments and those losses without closing your heart, without closing your ability to keep dreaming, right? Because ultimately, you're so close with that 9, 9, 9, and that 10, 10 It's really, really, really driving home this idea that you are so close, but you need to let go of the things that are taking up space to make room for what comes after a feeling of winter time. Let's see what this card has to say to expand the message. 81, let's see. The most wonderful time of year for the characters of Peanuts is wintertime. From snow flurries to snowballs, there is nothing that won't delight the gang. Although this time of year may be filled with book reports over winter break and lamenting the lack of mistletoe around your crush, there is nothing more wonderful than fresh snow on a winter's day. You can compete in a snowman building league or stay in and write letters filled with your wildest wishes to Santa. Just remember to build in playtime and exercise your imagination no matter the weather. So again, this is really driving home this idea that no matter the losses, no matter the disappointments, no matter this feeling of wintertime in your life, when it comes to your relationships, when it comes to your friendships, when it comes to your career even, let go of this feeling of all is lost and realize that spring is around the corner with this 10 of Cups repeating itself. And this 999 letting us know that we are just right at that threshold, right before being able to cross over into the life that we always dreamed of for ourselves, for our loved ones, for our tribe. Be able to look past this sort of societal obligatory performance that we all find ourselves inadvertently attached to at times, and know that you can pull your energy back without closing yourself off. It's a balance, it's a ballet, but in doing so, you really will be able to activate not only this sense of individual accomplishment, but collective accomplishment.